episode 23 of Theories and Thoughts podcast with me, Anya, and
Fancy, and I'm not certain. I thought it was 22, but it might be 23.
it's okay. It's okay. We have been having technical difficulties today, as you guys may have heard. Fancy talking to
Yeah. I'll
um,
just be glad I wasn't cursing, like, because this can be really frustrating at times. And Tuesdays are always crazy. It seems like it.
Yes, yes, yes. So today, you guys, we have dedicated our show to discussing whatever, 19. I feel like my face looks so bland. I should have put some color on it. Is it the red hair?
Y'all can reply in the comments or something. I gotta get my energy back
Get
right.
your energy together, girl. So, just some things. Hey, Sharona. Sharona texted me. She was like, "Y'all still having a show?" I was like, "Yeah, girl." That was earlier today. So,
Yeah, that's one benefit of us doing, hosting a show online and being able to do it remotely.
yes, 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 yes. So, getting into COVID. Oh, excuse me.
COVID.
19. Hey, Tara.
COVID is that how
COVID 19. So I wanted to get into some definitions first because people always throwing around different things and they don't really know what it is. So I felt that it was our duty to talk about it because we do want to be your the place where you go to get information. And so the first thing is social distancing. As you guys know, many cities, states, and federal government have issued out things for social distancing. Social distancing, what?
I'm sorry at the comments. It's fine. You're good. Go ahead on.
Oh, social distancing. Actual definition is practices are changes in behavior that can help stop the spread of infections. And this was actually done in 1819. I want to say that was when I'm gonna tell you exactly.
Is this when they did like the horse experiment and stuff? That would be 1918.
1918, when the flu first came about, they practiced social distancing. Of course, it's a little bit different now. Examples of social distancing is work from home, implementation of curfews, restricting events and event sizes, different, as you know, well, in Dallas, restaurants are closed, but you can still get delivery and you can still get, you can do takeout. Excuse me. The gas stations are open. And Chloe and I was having a conversation. As you guys know, Chloe is my niece daughter. She works at the gas station, and I was telling her that they may have to start using their little window that they use at night. That'll be social distancing. Social distancing is also being in kind of a close proximity with someone else, but kind of on the other side of the table. I noticed the news people have been doing that. They've been kind of spread out or what have you, because what happens is if someone coughs, and we're going to talk about the different symptoms of it. If someone coughs on you, it becomes airborne and it can come on you if they have it. Now, a lot of the symptoms with coronavirus COVID 19 are mild. Most people don't. Many people don't even know. Like we seen Idris Elba didn't know. However, he got tested because he was in space with someone who had it. His wife hadn't gotten tested yet. So what happens is the symptoms does not show for 7 to 14 days. That's why they're like quarantined for 7 to 14 days. I believe that I want to say that it's a good thing to fault. And we're going to talk about the impact of small businesses and different events. We're going to talk about events with Nadia when she comes in because she had to postpone one of her events. And we actually had an event within her Women's Empowerment Week. So we're going to talk about that. Fancy has some information on that. So Let's see. What is my next thing? A pandemic. A pandemic is a disease um, epidemic that has spread across a large region or instance multiple for instance multiple continents or worldwide. So are we in a pandemic? By definition, yes. Dr. Drew was saying, I had a post on my page where Dr. Drew was like, the media is making this way, way, way bigger than what it is. And if a real pandemic happened, he wouldn't know what it is because we're always crying wolf. Many different diseases, and I'm going to go through the different diseases and things that have come about throughout the years in just a moment. And you'll see that they've hit different continents, but we never really, even the flu, but we never called it a pandemic. So what's the difference now? You know, I actually seen a post where they were saying that H1N1, where President Obama wasn't looked at as serious as this particular one. So what's the difference? What's the difference? So coronavirus is said to have a fever, a cough, shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing. As you know, they've told people who have asthma, breathing problems, who may have heart issues, different things like that, to stay home to self quarantine or what have you, because it will be detrimental to them. We've only had one case here in Texas of someone dying, and it was an elderly guy who was 90 years old, and he's on the coast. So no matter how many people have it, they have, it's not a large margin of people that's dying from it. Yes, when we hear the numbers, we're like, oh, but then you have to look at how many people are in that area also. Yeah. So with the flu, so you can know the difference. The flu, you have fever, cough, achy muscle aches, fatigue and weakness, chills and sweats, congestion, sore throat. So you can see drastic differences between coronavirus and the flu. With the flu, you're going to have muscle aches, you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be tired, you're going to be weak, chills, sweats, congestion. We've all had the flu at some point. You may even experience vomiting with that. With allergies, because a lot of people are having allergies and people are looking at them crazy whenever they're sneezing or what have you. So allergies are sneezing, itchy nose, itchy eyes or roof of the mouth, runny, stuffy nose, watery red, or swollen eyes. Now, allergies, I suffer with allergies. I'm actually taking Zyrtec, Flonase, and Advil cold and sinus right now because my allergies are so crazy. But I was helping this guy the other day, and I had been talking, and whenever you have allergies, it dries the back of your throat because it's trying to dry up that mucus. And I was talking and I coughed and this man jumped back, way back. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh. And I said, you know what? I'm not even mad at him. So I had someone else to come and help him. But that's just how bad it is. People are looking. We went to Walmart. People have masks on. Those masks are not going to help you, especially unless they're N95s. And then they may not help as much. I tell you something that we're learning. What you're about to say?
Well, I'm just curious as to, I know that they were saying that they are supposed to be the N95 mask. I have heard of that. But what is the difference? Because in my mind, and this is just, since you said that, it made me, wonder, like if it's transmitted via whether it be spit or so whatever, the particles and so on, then why don't the mask help if they're covering, is it like because it could still be transmitted to your clothes or something and you touch it later? I'm just curious.
And I don't have an answer for you.
Because initially when they were saying it about the mask, I was really thinking they didn't want to cause, people panic, and wish they did and buy up all the masks. And so I was more so just thinking like, okay, they're trying to tell us this because of that. But now I'm just kind of curious as to, because I have been seeing some people out in masks, and really I think I would be more comfortable wearing them when I have to go out, but I'm also, really trying not to go out too. So yeah, I was just curious about that. But I'm sorry, continue on.
No. Hey, I don't really know. I just I heard I was watching Wendy and one of the experts came on there and she was saying that the masks don't really help. And they don't really help. Really, in honesty, just as with anything, you're really seeing who's clean and who's not at this moment. Because I'm always washing my hands, so you don't have to tell me to wash my hands every time. You don't have to tell me to use sanitizer. I keep sanitizer with me. So a lot of people, I'm just kind of side-eyeing because all of a sudden this is so important to you, where it should have been important to you. Hygiene is important. So. That's that. Real quick, a lot of people have been throwing around martial law. So I wanted to say exactly what martial law is. Martial law is is when the military is involved in it's not quarantine, it's suspend the ordinary law. So it says martial law, the dictionary says the law applied in occupied territory by the military authority of the occupying power. The law administered by military forces that is invoked by a government in an emergency when the civilian law enforcement agencies are unable to maintain public order and safety. Do I think that we will go into martial law? No. I don't believe that we'll go into martial law because it's not a dangerous situation. Martial law is whenever it's chaos and things is just going crazy. That's when martial law will go into effect. Not now. This is not a martial law instance. This is a what is I have it right here. This is a Stanford Act law situation. And the Stanford Act is an act in 1888 empowers the Federal Emergency Management Agency to assist state and local governments during natural catastrophes and to coordinate the nation's response. So what happens is that's when the federal government gets involved, the federal emergency people get involved to try to keep something what we're doing now. They're working with state and local governments to help quarantine this situation, to help stop the circulation. I think that's truly what is happening. Is it seems like it's so drastic, but it's just to not make it go on for you months and months and months. It hit the United States in February. This is now March. They're trying to stop it from spreading so much, and many people getting it because they don't have the test or whatever. Why they don't have the test, I don't know. It doesn't make sense because they knew China had this situation. It looks like they should have been getting prepared, but they didn't get prepared, and that's what's going on. So the government, state and local authorities, and the government have declared federal acts, federal declarations of disaster. What does that mean for you? That means as a small business owner, you can now file for emergency funds. It helps people. This is like when we were in Walmart. Chloe was like, it's like we're preparing for a hurricane. Whenever they do that, that lets emergency funds go to different communities to help those who may not have the funds that others have. So that's why they declare so many disaster acts to try to help people that don't have the money. So like during hurricanes, that may help people to get out of the area that the hurricane is about to hit. It may have food stamps, extra food stamps, or people who may not always get food stamps and different things like that. Different buildings open, during hurricanes. So that's why they have those types of things. So, did our guest arrive yet?
I forwarded her the link. She said she hadn't received it.
Oh, you know what? I didn't. That's my bad. Because I had that so late. I was working on a thing. I actually forgot. Didn't send it to her. What were you about to say?
Well, so I think she's trying to come in now. Well, she hasn't came in yet, but so she's looking into it now. But I something you said about the martial law and okay, you were like, you don't think that it's gonna get to that point, or we're not. I don't know. I just kind of, however you worded it, I was just kind of like, well, we're not at that point. You know, we're not as deep into things as we may possibly get to be, whereas that may be required. But I wouldn't just say I don't see it happening because I don't know. And then also just I don't know, even with now as you were just discussing the Stafford Act, it made me think about how usually, especially it seems like with Trump and his administration, a lot of that stuff is still all part of working the good old boy system. So it's like, you know, I'm just kind of imagining, and this is just me, just kind of thinking that also possibly freed up funds, or you know, that they could give funds to those that are still within that same network, and then of course those funds will be distributed, but would they really be distributed, you know, just fairly. And
that's true because there's a stimulus plan that's in the works that everybody will get $1,000. They're gonna get more probably, and it's probably gonna go by how much you make, you know. And yes, whenever we get tax breaks, they get tax breaks. Their tax breaks are bigger. So yes, it's always working that good old boy system. But that's what happened with Obama and also Bush when we got tax breaks. So there's nowhere around that.
yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead on and bring Nadia in now. So
Hey Nadia,
let me fix my chair.
Hello, ladies.
can you hear us? Oh, I can't see us.
I'm trying to move how you told me last time. I don't know. Okay.
Can you see us or can you hear us?
It seems like it's a delay. Can you hear us, Nadia?
I can.
Okay, can you see us?
I cannot.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk.
We got to figure out the board.
It has to be someone be live then. I'm sorry, but I'm here. Anya's here. You are on camera. So
Hi, everyone.
And I'm sorry, that was my bad that I didn't send you the thing. I was so busy trying to make sure I had my notes that I actually forgot. And I just said, "Well, did she come on?" And not Fancy was saying that you said that you didn't get the link, and that's when I realized it. So my apologies. We wanted to still have you come on because you're affected by this COVID-19 because you had some things planned and they have to be postponed. So I wanted to talk about the effect on small businesses and events. I don't think she can hear me.
is that the case? Nadia, can you hear Anya?
I can hear now. I don't hear Anya.
Say something, Anya.
Say something on you.
Okay.
It's okay.
So no, because you're supposed to be leading this conversation. No, I ain't know it's okay.
I can't hear it.
Okay, so look, Nadia, try to go out and then come back in for us, please.
Okay.
Try to
All
see.
right.
Hey Veronica, I just see you on. Hey Allison. And you're right, Sharon. A lot of small handmade businesses are declining right now for various reasons. I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why. There are some businesses that are also giving that are waiving payments for 60 days. They include Capital One, Ally Financial, Auto and Personal Loans, Metro PCS, Sprint, T-Mobile, Navy Federal, and most retailers. So you guys contact them and find out what they're doing to try to help people right now in need during this crisis. I thought that was really smart and really nice for those businesses to do that. What happened?
I think she realized she still wasn't seeing us, and she's trying to come back in again.
Okay, she's probably not gonna see us, but as long as she hears, I'm good.
But yeah, and I get that, but I do want her to be able to hear you.
Right? Can
Okay.
I think I can hear you both now.
you? Okay. Um. Real quick before we get into small businesses, the stock
Hello.
market did come up today. The Dow Jones 1,000 points and the SP climbed 6%. Nasdaq 6.2%. The federal government has pushed money into the economy to try to help level off things in this time. This is something that they did during the recession. They actually bought the small loans that businesses rely on for funding to pay bills and their expenses. So that's the Federal Reserve System that actually did that, and that's per the Washington Post.
Okay. And I'm trying to bring her in again. Okay, so you're back in, Nadia. Can you on your test? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I still don't think she hear you.
I don't think she
But
heard.
you can hear me though.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to proceed with just well, Anya. I mean, I think you got a lot of out what you were trying to say, but Anya was saying first. I think though, before even going into what Anya was saying, Nadia, can you just kind of share with the audience who you are, a little bit about yourself? I know we're kind of also running behind with time, but before we go into the discussion, so that they can know who you are and you do their best.
Yes, I am Nadia Francois. I am a serial entrepreneur and the founder and executive director of Sisters of Empowerment Social Organization. We are a female empowerment group from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we are expanding to other areas of the state. We recently organized Women's Empowerment Week for this year. However, thanks to COVID-19, we are having to reschedule some things, and that's what we are going to talk about tonight.
Okay. So, and then not, I mean, sorry. So Anya actually was asking, basically we were about to go into the segment about just how COVID is affecting small businesses, but in particular with your events. You know, you can kind of update us, but also just tell us what type of adjustments you've had to make, because there's been a lot of events being canceled. I mean, we've also had to cancel our stuff as well, but I know you had a lot more because you had more events, you know, planned. You had a week's worth plus other people's events under your umbrella.
Right. Well, it has been very nerve wracking to say the least, but when it's something like this going on where we don't know the origin or any history of this virus, we really have to take precautions and listen to our leaders at this time. So, like I said, it's been very nerve wracking, but pretty much everyone has been working well to get the events rescheduled. I had about 6 or 7 other ladies that were hosting events, including Swag Her, and we pretty much all had to cancel. It was about 14 events between Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, and we all had to reschedule. We will be posting new dates for those events. I'm not really sure if I'm going to reschedule the whole Women's Empowerment Week. I may do a weekend or something like that, just because it won't be Women's History Month anymore. So, that kind of puts a damper on it. But at the same time, we will still celebrate our women that we honor during this time at one of our events, which is called the Empowered Diva Awards. So we have tentatively rescheduled that event for June the 5th, which is a Friday. But now today they've said that it may, the outbreak may span across the summer. So I don't know. I'm just trusting God and just doing my part to move things along once we are back to a new normal. But as far as the other events, I do not have rescheduled dates yet. We are working on it. Um, Hopefully we'll have a date for the masquerade later this week. It's just so much trying to tie all the loose ends because we have performers and hosts and people like that, caterers and decorators, and we have to make sure, not to mention the venue, that
Yeah.
it all matches back up on the upcoming dates. So, y'all, please just check our website for updates on all the event uh, rescheduling and postponing information. Um, Also, we had a mental health roundtable scheduled, and Anya and Fancy they have volunteered to get me an online event going.
No,
So
I gotta stop you. That was Anya, but I was so yeah, she took
I
that.
had to throw Fancy in there.
That
But
was
yeah,
me.
my swag her ladies are going to help us because I take this, and not to switch subjects, but I really take this time that we have to be home and with our families as a time for us to level up as well in our
Definitely.
businesses, in our personal life, even in our finances. If we can find a way to, like turn this into a positive. I know it's a lot of negative going on because I promise you, yesterday I was like, I wasn't feeling it. I'm texting Fancy like, Fancy, what
And
we got?
I'm trying to hide from my phone, like literally. I
I'm
had
like, I just don't know. But, I said a prayer and I was just like, Lord, I know that you're going to work this all the way out. So I'm going to do my part, which is making sure that our supporters, our sponsors, our attendees, our volunteers, everybody that loves to be a part of this week is still, influenced in such a way. If we can do that online, we will. And if not, then we'll just have to wait until this blows over. But we are definitely going to bring the events back and just do our job of empowering our women because we need that. A lot of people are down on female empowerment and female empowerment events and this and that, but I personally have thrived from getting empowerment from other women and just even other entities that have gone through things that we foresee may be going through, may have to go through, all of that, and it helps. And I've had women witness to me that our events have helped them make some changes in their lives for the better. So in that is what motivates me to keep going and keep pushing to make sure that we can bring our women, our girls. We also have events for young girls. We have empowered the youth, the women for years now, and we don't want this virus or nothing else that comes from the pits of hell to interrupt that. It may give us a little, break. And like I said, we're going to take this break and we're going to flip it around to make it positive. We're going to take our little stimulus check and we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it, make it positive. Don't go out there and spend all your money up. Don't go out there and not pay your bills. Make sure that you are being smart. Make sure that you are doing the right thing that is positive and a gain for your family and your household because we don't know where this is going to end up, but one thing about it, we know that we are not in control. So the things that we can control, let's be responsible with it because I have never received a check from the government, just because I I just haven't. So I hope that we can, like I said, take those funds and use it. I plan to use my time to enhance my trading skills, which is an at home, moneymaker 24/7. And that is my plan. So I'm hoping that, we can spread knowledge to each other and empower each other through the things that we are doing outside of just going to work, coming home, going to the store, and complaining that the kids are there. But my kids have grown up. But hey, as a mother of four, I know how it is to have all those mouths yapping all day. But let's, like I said, turn it to positive, give them something to do. Most of the schools are going online. Make sure you check their Google Classroom. If they don't have Google Classroom, there are plenty of websites that are offering free knowledge for you to help the kids through this semester. So y'all, let's just flip it to a positive, because like I said, I know the stress that this brings. It's so hard to plan events. It's so hard really just to plan anything and it go through how we actually plan it to go through. So let alone having to plan it and then replan it.
Yeah.
So that was my whole issue. Just I didn't want to have to replan any of these events. I wanted the ladies to be able to come out and the guys and enjoy them, but it's gonna just happen at a later date. And we gonna make sure that everyone gets what they need.
Okay. And one thing I wanted to say, just still while we're on the subject of events, um, just as you were talking about, how you all have been doing events for years and how it has helped, how they've helped a lot of women, but also with your events and with the Women's Empowerment Week, like for a lot of the small businesses that solely vend, you were providing them an opportunity to be set up in more locations. And, just that was a lot of opportunity there because there's usually always, some vendors or something or sponsors, other people that just kind of had other
Right.
businesses, but they still, were able to utilize your events as a resource or, another way to get their brands out there. So that's also kind of nice. And then it just also made me look at with how I said a lot of events are being canceled. So that's other vendors as well, that's being impacted. And oftentimes I know when I meet vendors, they're like, this is all they do. They don't, they might post on social media, but they're not going to buy any ad space. This is what I've been doing for years. People know me here. People know I'm going to
Right.
be, you know what I mean? So that really changes, they have to explore other options that kind of changes things for them.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, but also, I mean, like you mentioned, kind of like you spoke on being a mom, and also from the business perspective. Anya, look, do I need to relay any messages across? I just want to make sure before I.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, I mean, because I know that Nadia is supposed to be on with us for the full time. So, what I was supposed to be, or what I wanted to kind of touch on tonight, I guess to say, is even with what Nadia mentioned earlier, like, how yesterday she didn't want to pick up the phone. Wait, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I have attention disorder and just like to leap with things. Nadia, is that your phone? Or because I just hear a lot of feedback, y'all.
What you
I'm
want me to
sorry.
do?
That's it. Whatever you did, whatever you stopped, because it was just like I can't talk and hit it at the same time. It just be throwing me off. Thank you. Okay, that was it. But I was just saying, I mean, we were supposed to be talking about how small businesses are being impacted by COVID-19, and I was one of those businesses business owners that was like really. Even though I already work from home, and our most of our stuff is online, whether it be the website, the newsletter, like everything I pretty much do is online outside of like when we're doing shoots or, attending events or something. So that wasn't, I guess you'd say, like the biggest adjustment for me. There wasn't really much of an adjustment at all. But I guess my main fear was more so like the fact that we deal with so many small business owners and, just kind of like, how is this impacting them? How long will they be able, to continue to pay their retainers and things like that? Like, I guess I've more so kind of been Like night right now is good, but what about next month? You know,
Right.
like
Right.
and my fear of things. And then often, I mean, like especially with a lot of our clients, they still work day jobs, you know, and that might
Right.
be how they're funding their business. So I just had like a lot of anxiety about things. And last night I just kind of like yesterday I didn't want to talk to anybody either. Actually when you were saying that you still needed to think about who all you needed to contact, I'm still like sitting here thinking like, oh, you know what, this person are like, and I really, I guess I need to make a list. But I think for me, and just speaking as a business owner and speaking as well as someone who's talked about, like battling depression and anxiety, this has just been like hell, really, because I
Yeah.
like to be prepared with stuff. I like to plan ahead if I can. And a lot of times I might not be prepared, but I know what I'm doing and I know it well enough. You could just go through the motions and do it. But like right
Right.
now, it's like it's so many decisions that are like snap decisions. Um, and then it's so much like, there's moving parts to things. Like you're not just
Right.
at what you're gonna do. You have to look at what this person is gonna do. We canceled our photo shoot, and I was just like, I felt a lot of guilt behind that, but I didn't
Right.
for us to be like, putting all our funds into one thing, and then we don't really know how well that's gonna do. So we've
Right.
like tried to cut back on everything that's like really big. We're still gonna do our issue, but just if I can find a way to cut corners, where it's not gonna be taking our last, and I'm trying to make certain that I do that because I just don't know how long things are gonna be this good. Like I was really shocked when people were still paying their invoices the other day because I was just like, I was in so much fear, but apparently they were okay. They felt confident enough. And then it just kind of made me think, well, that still means that they trust you enough to still be, promoting their business or whatever it is, whatever services that you're supposed to be providing throughout this time. So I kind of had to pull myself together. And just like really I had to, it was more so like a mental thing. Like, when you decide
Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
this is gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm still gonna go ahead on and move forward anyway. I'm not gonna. And then also I looked at it from the perspective of as being media and like really like this is really our moment, whereas we should be like producing more.
Catching everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was just, I was so caught up in that. I really froze up. And it's kind of funny because even I was talking to Allison, our editorial assistant, and like she was just kind of talking about how she felt today. And I was telling her, like, because she said it seemed like we're in a movie. And I was like, yeah, but when you're in the movie, how that person that normally freezes up is the person that ends up getting killed. Or, I was like, you already know that ending. And she was like, you know what? She was like, yeah, let's not be the girl that tripped and fall and get killed. And I was like,
Okay.
because that's really how you have to think about it, though. In my
Yeah.
you already know what might happen if you just stand still, if you're not doing anything. So
Right.
I salute all
Right.
the business owners that have been pushing throughout this time because I was just really shocked. I was still seeing people doing sales or, doing just going on about stuff. And I was
Yeah.
that was a call, I guess. Well, but I commend them for that. So
Yes, girl. That it. Well, I tell you what. This will separate the real from the fake in the business world. So we just have to really value our positions right now, and then at the same time, just try to encourage and support other small businesses.
mhm,
If there, resources that we know, businesses that we know that offer some of these supplies and things that we can utilize while we're in the shutdown, we kind of need to make sure that we sow into those businesses because that is what matters at the end. It's just really helping people to stay afloat. And because like if you're all the way online, that means that you don't have as much overhead as a brick and mortar. But at the same time, one bad week or one bad month can make or break you as well.
true.
So, we just have to, as business owners, small business owners, really look at that, I go through that all the time as a hairstylist, still working behind the chair. Most times things that people pay cash for is the first thing that they stop buying in situations like this. Once they get their supplies and everything, they're not really worrying about their hair getting done. But I tell you what, I'm still booked this week. So I'm just going to take the good with the bad and keep on pushing and make sure that the money that I am making and have made and have put up, that I use it wisely.
Yeah.
And that's, it's like time to stop being wasteful, time to stop, being impulsive, time to stop, worrying about having the hottest outfit or whatever. Is really time for us because, we're going through it now, but it's the after that we really have to worry about, y'all. It really is, as far as finances. Because, if the stock market is plummeted twice in a week, you know, we're gonna have to get it back up. So, and without money, we can't do that. So therefore, don't take, if you're getting tax refunds, if you're getting, your little stimulus check or your unemployment, whatever, y'all be frugal with it. I can't tell nobody how to spend their money, but all I can do is tell you to be smart with your dollars right now.
Yeah. And I didn't know if you knew of any like resources. Anya was kind of telling us about some things that were going on in Texas. And then actually, I wanted to try. I was trying to see if there were any like major organizations or anything, not major necessarily, but just in specific, like
Well,
geared towards the East Baton Rouge Parish as far as like aid or resources. I hadn't really saw
well,
much. Yeah.
I personally have not seen anything, but I haven't looked either, to be honest. I have heard that there are resources available for small business owners. If we need to go to the Small Business Administration website.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one other thing I want to mention, y'all, a lot of times I've been in business for over 19 years, and most of my time I have not had employees. Some of the time I have had employees, but most of those resources are for businesses with employees. But they will offer us, businesses without employees, loans. Now, me personally, if you know me, you already know I don't believe in that. Unless you just need it and you know that you're going to make the money back and pay it back. But this is not the time to get a loan. So if you cannot have to go out there and get a loan, because once again, we do not know what is going to be coming after this, which it's forecasted that it will be a recession. So you don't want to put yourself in all that debt. Keep your credit score. Like, I don't care how many extensions they're giving you. Eventually, you're going to have to pay that stuff back. And you don't want to be, just over your head with too much stuff that you owe. So try your best to keep your credit scores up, pay your bills on time, and not get any more credit. Do not get in any debt. Now, like I said, if you have a business that can sustain and you need, the money for whatever purpose, and you know that you will be able to pay it back, then hey, do what you got to do. But it's not one of those times that you just get it because it's available. Be very, very
Right.
cautious of getting debt, at this time, in this kind of crisis. Now, if it's a grant or something that you don't have to pay back, then hey, get it and let me know about it. But loans, I would not. Just my personal opinion. And like I said, I just would stay away from getting into deeper debt right now.
And that makes sense. I did also, I know that they were now accepting the unemployment claims due to
Mhm.
COVID-19. So the Louisiana Workforce Commission is where you would go to for that. And then I saw a post that was like, if you're like if you have infants and you need formula, that you can call the number on the bottom of the can, and they can send it to you. I've just been like looking for little things like that. I'm actually trying to we're trying to create some list of resources, so I couldn't get them all out tonight, but or I hadn't found many, to be honest. But as we do find them, I'd like for us to have something on the site. So if you come across anything, or if you are watching happen to know of anything that whereas you can leave it in the comments, so that we can just steadily be providing the information. And I know oftentimes we come across stuff and other people don't, so I
Right,
think it's
right, right.
like
Well,
to be
I'll definitely share anything I come across so that we can be aware.
okay. Well, I guess that is all for as far as for us. And with your segment, I'm gonna go ahead and do the announcement. So let's Anya, Anya, can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't have anything else for Nadia.
Okay. Well, all right then, Nadia. Thank you for coming on. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. And is there anything else you want to say before you close out? And let me also pull your caller back up too.
Thank y'all so much for having me on. And once again, we are working very diligently with all of our counterparts to get the um, events scheduled for future dates. If there are any ladies that were hosting events during this week, I will be in touch with you by the end of the week to see if we can organize another week for women. If not, you know, we will definitely still help in the promotion of your event. If it's not during a week or whatever, we'll just still be in constant communication and support. Also, to all of our sponsors, you will still receive all the recognition that you were promised and the promotions through the promotions of our events. And um, please continue to visit our website for updates. We have not updated it yet, but by the end of the week, the website should be updated with at least the events that we um, have been able to reschedule and work details out. So that's what I'm working on this week, is trying to get everything, at least get the dates lined up. I mean, we have the guts of the event, but also get our mental health roundtable as an online event, preferably this month. I'm looking at March 29th, so I don't know what everyone else's schedule looks like. That is what I will be reaching out for this week, because we did have some wonderful panelists that were volunteering their time to reach out to our, just reach out and answer questions regarding mental health and give some feedback to those that need it. So, like I said, we are going to try and at least have that one virtual event to celebrate our women and to have um, a peek inside of mental health, not just for women, but for everyone. But it is a Women's Empowerment Week event. So we will definitely try to get that done. Visit us at sistarsofempowerment.org for any more questions. You can also contact us on that website. And if you have anything you need or want, would like to see us uh, be a part of, please reach out. Please reach out. We're only a call away, and we love to get involved in community based events for the youth or women. So, thank you again, Fancy, Swag Her, Anya, for having me tonight. And y'all stay safe. Listen to the precautions. They may seem silly or drastic, but we have to do what we need to do to protect our lives and our kids. So life is so much more than money and work, but we know that we have to do it in order to live. But so enjoy your time off. Remember to flip that money, if you can, into something good for later. Y'all have a great night.
All
You
right. You too. Peace and blessings.
Bye bye.
All right. Now
Something
I'm
hmm,
sorry. What'd you say?
I was going to say something I wanted to mention. With small businesses, things that you can do is, as I was telling Nadia, you can take an event that you had and you can make it a Facebook. You can make it online on Facebook and just probably give a code because you can put questions there at the front of it before someone enter, and it can be in the group, and you can actually have your event in the group. You can do it virtually. I think that this is a time that small businesses are noticing that they can start doing things virtually. You can have that as a backup plan. I'm not saying have everything virtually. I'm saying things that can possibly be done, like her mental health roundtable. There's different resources, for a small business. As I said, they've declared federal declarations, which means that there's federal funding. Yeah, some of them made for people who have employees, but some may not be. It may just be for small businesses. So go ahead and tap into that. Different events. After the quarantine is over, you can possibly still have it and just have it smaller. I was watching Ice Cube talking about the big three, and he's still on board with that, but he has smaller venues. So that could be something. You can do a smaller venue. Yeah, you want it to be huge, but you have a smaller venue just to protect the public. So different things like that are things that we can protect ourselves at this time and still be marketable. Online is great. I always say you have to get off online, but right now is the perfect time to be online and do online advertising, branding, and marketing. This is your time. This is your shot. This is when you do it. Even, for us as an online and print magazine, we do most of our things online. This is the times that you have that people can sit down and listen to your podcast. They can actually go to your YouTube, go to your website and read your articles. This is a time that journalists can push out a lot of work. So just keep those things in mind.
Okay, and I definitely agree with that about the doing things virtually. Also, there was two things I wanted to do before we wrapped up. For one, I wanted to recognize some of our sponsors right quick, but then I also wanted to share these myths that have been floating online too about the different types of tests that are that work. So first off, there's Ambassador Mortgage. I don't know why their name is not shown clearly, but I like to thank them for being a sponsor. Like I just wanted to make certain that we showed all of our advertisers and clients tonight, just, because again, these are all small Black owned businesses, and I wanted to make certain that we're being supportive of them. So there's Genesis Fitness. Ms. Bev also does her show every Sunday at, I think it's 6 o'clock on our Facebook page, which is a health and fitness show. So you all can check that out. Also, going back to Ambassador, I'm sorry, I listed their Instagram, but I didn't list their site. I actually just listed everybody's Instagram. But Ambassador, we're actually building their site for them. So they'll have a website soon. But in the meantime, you all can follow Miss Darlene at Reese.Darlene. I'm not certain why hers kind of showed that way. Also, there's Fontenot and Associates. You all may know Tara from her segment that she does also throughout the week. And I'm sorry, Tara, I realized I put an extra I right here. But it's Fontenot Solutions is her Instagram handle, so you all can check her out. She provides accounting and I'm not going to necessarily say tax preparation, but definitely accounting and back-end office services. There is Seal the Deal with the Biz Credit Bay on Instagram. She, of course, assists you with basically applying for securing business credit, but she also just has like a plethora of knowledge about like business finances. So you all can check her out. And also happy belated birthday to both her, Asia of Seal the Deal, and to Coach Bev of Genesis Fitness. I hope we got those posts out today. And then there is LakeishaMosley.com. Lakeisha is a lifestyle blogger. Plus, she's also been an event planner. I think Lakeisha has like over 10 years of experience of event planning. But on LakeishaMosley.com in particular, she discussed love, family, and faith. So, that's a great blog to check out. She also does feature other mompreneurs and things along the lines of that, or people along the lines of that, not things. So I just wanted to thank those people right quick, and then I still have some more people to go. But before I do that, I wanted to just tell you all about some of these myths, because I know when I first saw one, we even shared something like, whereas I mentioned that about drinking water may protect you from the coronavirus. They said that that was a myth, that really wasn't. What did they say? There's no evidence from any other respiratory virus that proves this approach works. So that's one. A simple solution of salt and warm water will suffice. That's a myth. Um, if you can hold your breath for 10 seconds, you're okay. I was seeing people sharing this test online. That's a myth. Uh, what else? If you have a runny nose, it's just a cold. That was a myth. I mean, because kind of Anya already kind of discussed that. If you have the coronavirus, you'll get pneumonia. That's a myth. And then the nasal congestion is not like the normal kind. You feel like you're drowning. They said that the symptoms can actually vary. So another one that went along with that one is whereas they said that it feels like a tickle in the back of your throat that feels kind of different. That was also listed. They said that that was a myth as well. So I just want to make certain. And I found this article actually on CNN. It's entitled "One Dangerous Coronavirus Self-Check Test." It's circulating on social media. Here's why you should avoid it. So if you all want to see all the things that they had listed there, then you all can check that out on CNN.com. But I just thought that, because I know, especially in the age of social media, as we're seeing stuff and you want to be helpful and you're trying to share, but sometimes we do need to go back and make certain, like that we verify it before just sharing it. So, and like I said, we actually did say something about like trying to drink plenty of water, which I do still believe we should be drinking water. And there are other things that I've heard about, like with alkaline water and so on. But just saying that, oh, drinking tons of water is going to help you, I don't, it's like more to it than just that. So, because also you got to look at the quality of the water that you're drinking possibly as well. So just stating those. And then, I don't know, Anya, did you have any other announcements before I did the other round of sponsors?
No.
Okay. Well, there's Divine Purpose by Myra D. Unique. Myra is a new author. You all can follow her at Myra D. Unique on Instagram. There's another new client that we have, Team Unique Naturals. We mentioned them last week. They do provide natural hair care products for the woman on the go. So you all can check them out. There is Deja Vu Skin. It's one of the skincare brands that works with us. We just shared today like a tattoo enhancer, I guess you say. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact, like a tattoo cream. But there's a good product review on our Instagram page of theirs, or at least a snippet of it, and then you can watch the rest on YouTube, and you can kind of do like it's an unboxing. So I invite you all to check that out. There is Chi Bath and Body. Based out of Charlotte. Not only do they have like the Bath and Body products, but they also have, I want to say she has the diffusers. And I actually saw her posting today about that she's mixing up like some hand sanitizer as well. So you all might want to check that out, especially if you're looking for some Black-owned brands to support with hand sanitizer. And then last but not least, there is Women Ignite Now. Women Ignite Now, it provides business resources for women entrepreneurs, as well as they did have a tour going on, but right now I'm not certain if how that's going to work out, to be honest, with everything that's going on right now. So they were supposed to be in Atlanta next month. But I invite you all to check out all of these advertisers and sponsors via Instagram, and then, of course, connect with them via their websites and so on. Because again, right now, we have to keep things afloat. And the way we do that is by supporting those within our communities. So I just, that's everything that I have. I just want to wish everybody a safe and happy evening. Anya, you want to do a closing or something?
No, just keep in mind, I wanted to just give you guys some definitions, some things that I have found. I unleashed my inner geek today and going search for everything and just trying to get the information to you guys. I hope you learned something. I hope it helped. Try to build that credit. Like she said, don't just blow away your money, because after this happens, there's gonna be a time that you can just use that credit for good. You know, you can start doing some investing and everything. And that's always good for the Black community. Instead of saying that people are gentrifying things, why don't you buy the things that they're taking?
All right.
Well,
all right then. Well, y'all stay safe. As you can see, I'm having problems not touching my face, so I'm about to go wash my hands. And yeah, peace and blessings, and we hope to see you all next week.
bye, y'all.